Hi, I'm Luke Villarreal. I'm 21 years old. I was born in Fresno, California, and in second grade I moved to Visalia, California. Um, Fire service, in all reality, hasn't always been something that I was actively pursuing. At one point, I was pursuing medicine exclusively, along with music, as music was my main passion. Medicine was kind of like my academic pursuit. It was going to be my professional pursuit, while music was going to be something that I was hoping would, just like in a naive fashion as a kid, we all want something, we all want our craft, something as fun as music, especially, to take off and take us places. So those were the things I was most interested in. Medicine, because I grew up around it. My mom was an RN, is now a nurse practitioner, so I was going to school for that at the time. But my heart wasn't really in it. There was something always missing, and I thought maybe it was just how daunting it seemed to kind of like go through all the education and go through that entire process to maybe or maybe not get a job, and then at the same time it was just so much to retain. I thought it was like that. It seemed so, such so intimidating. At the same time, in all reality, it just was that my heart wasn't in it because it just wasn't my exact skill set. It wasn't exactly what I needed. And music, of course, I realized later on was just wasn't gonna do anything for anybody, because music is a great hobby. It's great to entertain, but it doesn't really affect people, in a large way. It doesn't really help anybody. It doesn't contribute to the community in a large scale. So that's something I wanted to do. So later on, I talked to my cousin and my best friend. They were talking about that they were interested in the fire service, and I said, "Wow, that sounds interesting." So I just thought, hey, I'll do it. And I was kind of lost. I wasn't sure what I was going to do at that time. So went on my first ride along at Visalia Station 51, and I was instantly hooked just because the environment, the tools, the kind of like camaraderie between everybody, the expertise. It was like everybody had their own specific skills to offer to the entire group. I thought that was really interesting, and I immediately knew that was something I wanted to be a part of. So I kept going on ride-alongs, got my EMT, my National Registry, graduated Firefighter 1 Academy. Before Fire Academy, I got hired on with Tulare County as a PCF. Graduated Firefighter 1 Academy, got my FCTC, CPAT, and a bunch of other certs that came with Academy, of course. And um, now I've been hired on by the fuels crew for Tulare County, so we do kind of forestry stuff, tree mortality, and we go on wildland fires. That's kind of like I'm starting to explore the wildland side more. Having went into the fire service with like exclusively an interest in structure firefighting and not really knowing what to do when it came to wildland, and now being exposed to that, like exposed to that so frequently, it's actually really like it's really like changed my interest around, because now I'm seeing wildland and I'm like, wow. Well, before I was really interested in like city, urban search and rescue, uh, structure firefighting, all that. But then, I was exposed to wildland because in Tulare County, and just in the valley in general, you're exposed to a great deal of wildland already, and dry grass and everything, and you're going to get a lot of grass fires. But here especially, we just get grass fires all the time. So I was exposed more and more to that, being in a part of a more rural department as well. And so that's kind of changed my interests around. I feel like that might be a really interesting, unique skill set I can offer in the future, because a lot of people try to avoid wildland. I feel like a lot of people don't find it as interesting, but I feel like really interesting now. So that's that's cool, and that's kind of where my interests lie right now, is deciding between the structure, city, and the rural. But I think I'm leaning more towards rural outskirts, but we'll see. But anyways, overall, I mean, it just the fire service changed my whole life. In a year, I mean, everything's changed, just beyond description. I mean, just my attitude towards things, the way I see things, the way I analyze problems now has just changed for the better, and it's been really awesome, and it's been such a blessing. So that's why I want to be a part of the fire service. It absolutely just changed my whole mindset on tons of things, and it gave me a whole bunch of new skill sets, and even in everyday life. And I don't think in most jobs can't really say that they offer that ability to learn like that. One thing I think people don't know about me is, like I said, I'm a musician. I record my own music, and I think that's really important because, especially in a stressful job like being in the fire service, you need to be able to have a muse, and mine is writing music. I can write music. I can do whatever I want because I can play a multitude of instruments, which I think is really great. I'm blessed to have those talents, and I'm thankful for them. And I just they allow me to kind of play around and express myself in a lot of ways. So um, I think that's really cool. Anyways, this is Luke Villarreal, and this is my Fire Tech 1 welcome video.